Well, welcome back to the next big story as we explore Wallbridge Mining, growing gold resources in Quebec, trading on the TSX under WM, the OTCQB under WLBMF. This video is disseminated on behalf of Wallbridge, and we're joined by Brian Penny, the CEO, to kind of just take us through the company and recent news and the exciting time to be in precious metals. But first and foremost, welcome, sir.
Thank you, and I enjoy taking the time to speak to you today, Kyle.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure to get you on. So, I guess first and foremost, tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you end up in Wallbridge?
Well, I've been in this business for 40 plus years. My senior roles was I was the first CFO at Kinross from 1993 to 2004. After that, I got involved with a small cap called Western Goldfields, which we restarted the Mesquite mine, brought it back into production. Then we merged that into New Gold, which I ran as the CFO for 10 years. And after I left New Gold, a friend of mine approached me saying there's this company called Wallbridge that could use help on the financing side, which I joined. I ran with that for 5 years, and 2 years ago, the CEO decided to retire. I was offered the role, and I've taken it to round out my career.
Yeah, appreciate the insight on it. And at a high level, I mean, tell us a bit about Wallbridge. Talk about the projects, locations, kind of what stages you're at, and what makes it such an intriguing, asset for you guys.
Well, we got two very exciting projects in the northern Abitibi. We have 600 square kilometers of land in the northern Abitibi. It's on strike to the Detour Lake mine. It's on the same Sunday Lake deformation corridor on the Quebec side of the border, which Detour Lake is on the Ontario side of the border. We have two discoveries. One is Fenelon. It has about a 3.5 million ounce resource, recently completed a PEA, looking at the early stage works to de-risk it to get ready to go into an all-in on a PEA in the future. Martinier is our little bit less behind. It has about 750,000 ounces of resources overall. We had some really exciting drill results last year, which we're following up this year. So most of our money this year will be spent exploring Martinier, doing some work on Fenelon, a second met testing some of the assumptions that are built into the PEA to prepare for a pre-feasibility, as I said, in the future.
Yeah, and speaking to the recent news, your 2026 program has started. It's quite extensive and fully funded, as you mentioned. I mean, do you want to elaborate a bit on that?
Well, we're going to do 25,000 meters of drilling. 17,000 will be on Martinier, which will probably start next week. We've already started the metallurgical drilling for Fenelon. That commenced about 2 weeks ago. It'll run for another 3 or 4 weeks. And then, that material will be sent out for testing, and we'll get the results in September or October of this year. It's quite an extensive, long testing program. And from that, we will test some of the assumptions we built into the PEA, like dry stack tailings, to make sure that the waste product generated from that is amenable to dry stack tailings. We don't believe there are any challenges, but we need to do that work, as well as the paste backfill assumption for the underground operations. So, we're getting a better bang for our buck. We get some geological numbers, we get, you know, uh, revised metallurgical testing, and we tick off some of the long lead time items with our pre-feasibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, living in this current market environment, which is quite a whirlwind between precious metal prices, commodities booming. I mean, this must be a busy time for you guys on the marketing front. I mean, you guys have been at some of the BMO conferences, PDAG. I mean, do you want to talk about some of the sediment, kind of what you're seeing at these conferences, and maybe what else is kind of coming up for Wallbridge?
Well, this is a great time to be in the precious metals business. When I was at Kinross, I remember $250 gold, and it wasn't quite as fun back then at 250 gold as it is around $5,000 gold. It's a great opportunity. We've got a great project. The economics of the PEA at Fenelon, the high price we used in the sensitivity analysis is $3,000 gold. $3,000 gold, it has a NAV of $1.4 billion, 34% IRR, and a payback of about 2.5 years. So very, very exciting. We need to get some drilling success on Martinier, which will, provide some short-term catalysts for the stock. Fenelon is more longer term of a catalyst.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is a very exciting time, and this is just a brief introduction. So I do appreciate your time here, Brian. As we pass it off to the viewer, consider subscribing when news and catalysts like this comes down the wire. Of course, we're going to bring it to you here. If you'd like to explore Wallbridge Mining any further, we'll leave the links in the description as well. But on that, we look forward to catching you in the next one.